reason I invited you on today is to talk about a project that you're currently working on. So can you tell us a little bit about that project and the inspiration behind it?
So the project is kind of merging two of my passions together. So you already know I'm a photographer. I've got a big passion in that and kind of do a lot of work around that. But I'm also passionate about people as well, and I like taking portraits. So my idea, and this has been an idea that's been running for, I would say, probably about 18 months. And that's where I focus on mental health. And I speak to people who might be suffering with their mental health or well-being, and we create a portrait or create a picture that they're in or they're directing to kind of tell me how to take it if they don't want to be in the picture. But that image explains how they're feeling inside their head. So it's a very creative image that I want to take. And within that project, and this is over time, I've realised that it's grown into many areas that I didn't think about. So it's quite exciting. I'm very excited about it, and I didn't realise kind of the scope of what the project would cover.
Yeah, I love this project. We've spoke about it, numerous times, and it's just because how impactful it's going to be, not just for those taking part, but for the audiences it reaches in kind of the different formats you decide to release it in, such as doing the talks.
I feel like the realisation of this project is a little bit as well, kind of a bit of kind of self-healing for me. So it's almost like a I'm not saying coping mechanism, but like a some medication in a way. So it's almost like I'm doing this project and I'm getting a lot from it. I'm getting, it's good for my mental health because that is the reason why I've kind of put it forward. So it's a realisation of that creativity. So it's almost like all the things you've just been speaking about, being creative and putting it into a project where it'll also support other people. And one of them people is me. It supported me in my own mental struggles, in making me understand them, and also knowing how to cope with them in my way. And I feel like this is one of the ways that I'm doing it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like I said, the impact of the project you're working on, it goes beyond just the people taking part. It's doing something for you, and it's gonna do something for the audience. It reaches beyond those taking part. We've spoke about breaking stigma. How are you going to ensure the impact of this project extends beyond the visual realm and is a catalyst for those meaningful conversations around mental health?
One of the things that I want, I've kind of got goals for the project, is when I've created these images, that when I've worked with different people and we've created whatever their visions are, it'd be great to have an exhibition or produce a book or something like that. And this is something that I might not be able to measure really, because I won't always be there, but I'm hoping that they spark conversations off that people can relate to, or it has an impact where they don't forget something. I know things like that have happened to me where I've seen something and it kind of, you might watch a film or you might do something else, and that, you're watching a physical thing at that point, but then it makes you do something. It might be, a lot of the time for me is I'll see something and it'll spark some creativity off, and then I'll go and do that creativity. That's the reaction of seeing some art. So that's what I hope would happen. It kind of sparks off conversation with people, where people have more of an understanding of how someone feels, or also the bigger thing, can relate to it and go, that's exactly how I feel. It may be a better understanding of how their mind is, maybe. I don't know. Again, I can't measure it, but I can only bring it together and make it kind of have a positive. I don't know. I feel like just bringing art together. I mean, people come to see art just because they like art.
Yeah.
People come to see a photography exhibition just because they like photography.
Yeah.
But the other side of this is people who might work in the mental health arena might want to go to it, but also people who are struggling. That's who I'm hoping the audience is. So I'm hoping the further reach on the project would be conversation or some kind of support as well. As in, I'm not saying it's like the support of a counsellor, but it might just be that small thing someone else feels exactly as how I feel, and they can relate to one of the images that are produced. Someone might relate to more than one. The other thing, it could be a book, where it could be something like reading material where people can look at and maybe get information from. That is forward thinking, because we're at the early stages of it at the moment.
That's kind of exactly how I envision it, being a catalyst for those conversations, and that's exactly the purpose of season 1 of this podcast. You know, we're speaking about mental health because I want people to see it, the people viewing it, the audiences, to be able to talk to other people about it. So being a catalyst for those conversations. Thinking forward, I know you said you don't have a timeline for the project.
No.
But when you do have a body of work that maybe you're ready to release, what's going to allow you to look back and label it as a success?
I think my success is, there's different levels of success. I feel like there's short-term successes where I'll work with someone, and I'm hoping this is what I envision with it, is when I'm working with that person who might be struggling with their mental health or well-being, I want them, in that time they're being creative with me, they get what I get when I'm being creative, that kind of, this is a negative thing, but we're proper switching it and it's going to be really positive. So that's, for me, one of the successes, where if I produce a really good image, that's exactly what that person says, this is exactly how I feel, that's a success. And then you do that multiple times with lots of different people, and then you've got yourself a body of work then. And then you see that success. And when you've got that together, then you've got something that you can present, whether it's presented as a talk, whether it's presented as an exhibition. That's the goal. An exhibition would be amazing, or it's a booklet or something like that. That would be great. And I think that's how I'd kind of measure it. And it'd be great for them individuals to say, look, I've been part of this project where the work's been, I was kind of big in my own, blowing my own trumpet here. The work's been of a certain quality, but I think the important thing is it's really kind of shown what that person's really struggling with. That is the key to it. If I can interpret what someone's struggles are in a visual image, that they can say to someone, this is how I feel. That's the power there. I think that's what I'm trying to achieve. And it's having an understanding of who that person is, and also drawing on my skills at producing images. That again helps my mental health. It's I think that's the success. I feel like my biggest success will be producing the image with that person. That's the thing I'd really enjoy. And then the after success, obviously, is collating it all together and it being something that I can show people in a bigger arena, basically.
Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed that clip, click here to get the full episode, and don't forget to subscribe.